to my channel and to the latest in my series of monthly gardening videos for the month of March. Today I'll talk you through some of the jobs we can all be doing this month as the gardening season really starts to kick off. If you're new here, my name is Sarah and this is Sundays in the Garden, a channel where I share everything I get up to in my English cottage garden and allotment area. I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already so you can stay up to date with all of the garden jobs by month as I release them, as well as see all of the exciting plans I have for the garden in 2024. So without further ado, let's get started on all of these jobs. For many of us, it's time to pot on those leggy looking seedlings that we planted last month. These are some melons that I planted from Seedcraft, so I'm going to take a new larger pot, pop in some compost and make a hole in the middle where I can transplant my seedlings. This one is already looking great, look at the amazing roots on this one. So I'm not sure how long they'll last in these pots before they'll need to be planted into even bigger ones, but I haven't got a huge amount of space inside in my utility room where they're staying, so I'm going to put them in these ones for now and see how they do. I'm filling it up with some more compost and patting it all in to keep it nice and firm and help these seedlings to stay nice and strong. And that's one done. Now just to do the rest. Now that they're all done, I water them well and take them back inside to grow big and strong. In March we can also plant our first early potatoes. These have been chitting on my windowsill for about 4 weeks now, and I could leave them a bit longer, but I've decided I'm going to plant them. You can plant them in the ground, in a pot like this, or in a potato grow bag like the ones that I've got over here. And what I'm going to be doing today is planting them into the grow bag because the pots I'm going to use for my main crop potatoes. If you look underneath here, you'll see that you can actually harvest the potatoes from these potato sacks, so they're great for your first earlies. I'm going to fill the sack about a third to a half full of compost, and then I'm going to place 2 seed potatoes into each sack, with the eyes facing upwards. You can see here are the eyes. This is where the lovely green shoots will come from. I'm covering with 10 to 12 centimetres of compost, and then I'll water it well. If you have a look at these bags here, you can actually fold the edges down to allow plenty of light to get in, and then as the plants grow, you can earth up with some more compost and fold up these edges here to secure the plants. March is also a time to finish cutting back any of last year's perennials. As you can see, there are some beautiful peony shoots coming through the soil here, but on top of them are some really woody old stems from last year. Some stems and seed heads from old perennials can look really beautiful at this time of year in the garden, but I don't think this plant is one of them, so I'm going to cut it back right to the ground level to ensure that plenty of light and air can get to the new plants emerging from the soil. Here it is, looking much tidier and ready for the season ahead. I can't wait to see those beautiful peony flowers. March is not a month for complacency and can still produce some really cold temperatures and cold nights, so it's important to protect any seedlings you've got emerging from the ground with some horticultural fleece to keep them nice and protected from those freezing temperatures. It's also a really good idea if you've planted any seeds that have yet to emerge to cover the beds where they've been planted with some fleece to keep the ground really warm. By doing this, it will help them germinate just that little bit quicker. And fingers crossed for some warmer temperatures soon because it's still feeling really cold out there today. As I said last month, it's really important to keep on top of those early weeds. So here I am again going around the beds and just hoeing out any weeds I can see poking through the surface. Doing this just once or twice a week really keeps on top of them and can ensure that we have a nice weed-free growing season ahead. If you have any perennials you'd like to lift and divide, now is the time to do it. These snowdrops have really started to clump together, and whilst they look beautiful, I would like to spread them more evenly in the spring bulb garden. I'm taking a large spade to make sure I get right underneath them and don't damage the bulbs. Then I tease them apart and end up with some smaller clumps that look just like this. I will take the small clump over to an area between the bluebells where there is some space and dig a hole that is the same depth as the hole I took the snowdrops out of. Then I'll just pop the snowdrops into the hole and firm the soil around them, and I hope that by doing this I will have a more even and beautiful display of snowdrops in the seasons ahead. As you can see, I'm repeating the process here and separating some more out and spacing them throughout the bulb garden. I think this is going to look great. And this is the best time of year to move snowdrops when they've just finished flowering, as it gives them the best chance to root and take in their new homes. As you can see, I've removed them from this area at the front and spread them evenly in the bulb garden. I think this is going to look absolutely brilliant next year as they all grow and thrive in their new home. Whilst March is mostly a time for new life, there are some flowers that are finishing off now. These daffodils are still in beautiful bloom, but its neighbour needs deadheading, and this is the time of year to be keeping on top of deadheading. To deadhead them, we just pull off the top from the stem and it separates nice and easily. Leave the stem in the ground and do not touch the foliage so that the green leaves and stem can feed the bulb underneath. In doing this, you ensure a beautiful display again next year. The birds are a constant source of joy in our garden, and this little robin seemed to be playing hide and seek with me today as he darted in and out of the trellis. Here he is again, and off he goes, and he's back. It's really important at this time of year to keep feeding the birds if you want to continue to welcome them into your garden. Birds are wonderful garden helpers, helping us keep on top of bugs and other pests, and feeding them a high-fat diet at this time of year ensures that they have all the energy they need to get them through the nesting season, and keep coming back to your garden for days, weeks and months to come. That concludes the garden jobs for March. Don't forget to subscribe so you stay up to date with all of the other garden job videos as they come over the months ahead. I'm so excited about what the garden has to offer this year, and I can't wait to share it all with you as the months go on. In the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday and week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.